We may have no idea what's going to happen in November. Maybe Trump wins, maybe he loses, maybe Biden wins or loses, maybe they both win, maybe they both lose. No one has any clue. Maybe everyone just fights, everything blows up, and then that's it. That's the end of the world. Or maybe it's an election. Maybe it's an election year. Everyone's overreacting. And we start to look to 2024 to talk about what comes next. And surprisingly, Tucker Carlson's name is being floated. Politico writes, Tucker Carlson 2024, the GOP is buzzing. The Fox News host's ratings have gone gangbusters, and many Republicans think he'd be a force in the Republican primary. I'm going to go ahead and say right now, BS. It's bunk. It's clickbait trash, in my opinion. I do not look, Tucker Carlson's very wealthy. He's got the highest rated show in cable TV history right now. And if he were to run for office, he would be giving up millions of dollars in exchange for $400,000. But there is a good point in that Tucker Carlson's already rich. Being that he's already rich, what does he care about his salary, right? He could theoretically just become president. And of course, after you leave the presidency, you write a bunch of books, you make a ton of money. Like the Obamas, the Clintons, they made a ton of money that way. So maybe money isn't a factor. But I don't believe it. You know, I see stories like this. I see people talking about it. And it really just feels like Politico is sitting there scratching their head with a pencil. And some guy's like, what do we have? We got to write something. I don't know. You want to call somebody and ask them if Tucker Carlson should be president? Then they do. They get a bunch of comments and then they write an article. But to be fair, let's read and see what they're saying. Tucker Carlson's audience is booming, writes Politico. And so is chatter that the popular Fox News host will parlay his TV perch into a run for president in 2024. Republican strategists, conservative commentators, and former Trump campaign and administration officials are buzzing about Carlson as the next generation leader of Donald Trump's movement, with many believing he would be an immediate frontrunner in a Republican primary. Carlson would win. 100%. At least the Republican primary. I think he would also do... I got to be honest, I think Tucker could actually win and become president. I really mean that. I don't know if you guys remember, but he had a debate with Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks over at Politicon a couple of years ago. And Tucker Carlson is a fairly moderate individual. He loves his country. He may not speak to the far left, but I believe he would absolutely wrap up moderate liberals and everyone to the right of them. Let's read more. Quote, he's a talented communicator with a massive platform. I think if he runs, he'd be formidable, said Luke Thompson, a Republican strategist who worked for Jeb Bush's super PAC in 2016. Well, I don't care for his advice. Jeb Bush's super PAC. Come on. While practically every Republican eyeing a 2024 presidential run is professing loyalty to Trump the person, Carlson has become perhaps the highest profile proponent of Trumpism, a blend of anti-immigrant nationalism, economic populism, and America First isolationism. That's just not true. Come on. That he articulates unapologetically with some snark. At the same time, he's shown a rare willingness among Republicans to bluntly criticize Trump when he believes the president is straying from that ideology. And it works. Tucker Carlson might actually be the guiding force for Republicans right now. I mean it. Like he goes on his show and he says it, people listen. And then, you know, you actually had that story from Newsweek a while ago, several months ago. Tucker Carlson actually flew down to Mar-a-Lago to meet with Donald Trump to tell him about the dangers of COVID. Tucker Carlson's got influence, man. In another twist, Carlson has established a friendship with Donald Trump Jr., according to a source familiar with their relationship. Trump Jr. has drawn his own share of presidential buzz. Tucker Carlson Tonight is currently the most watched cable news program in history, according to the second quarter ratings released this week. And on Fox News' YouTube channel, Carlson's segments from the past quarter have drawn well over 60 million views and are among the most popular videos in the eight years since the network began posting on the platform. Wow. Tucker Carlson, 60 million views. That's really impressive. You know, if he keeps it up and he works hard, he might actually one day beat my view count of just about 70 million views. So good on you, Tucker. You know, you'll keep it up and maybe you'll make it. I'm kidding, by the way. Tucker Carlson's getting 4 million live viewers per night. I do well. The ratings have been great on my end. But a lot of people talk about the dying cable news network stuff. You got to factor in the fact that Tucker Carlson is getting, like 720,000 key demo viewers in 1 single hour unique, plus 60 million views on his content on YouTube. This dude is a powerhouse. And I got to say, probably rivals some of the biggest podcasts in the world. I was joking, by the way. I get it. I get a lot of YouTube views, but these are just for his standalone segments, which are already getting massive numbers. The dude is wildly influential. I'm a fan. I think he's probably the best political personality on TV. Even if you disagree with him, and I disagree with him on probably a decent amount of things, he's honest. He has on opposition voices. I have tremendous respect for that. His popularity with the base would instigate a debate over the future of the party, essentially whether Trump was an aberration or a party realigning disruptor, a fight that will be all the fiercer if Trump loses in November. Think about it. Yeah. Let me read this. Let me put it this way. If Biden wins and Tucker decided to run, he'd be the nominee, said Sam Nunberg, a former top political aide to Trump who knows Carlson. But Nunberg said he doesn't believe Carlson will run because he's so disgusted with politicians. This is why I'm saying, man, this is just hype machine stuff. They know, look, the journalists over at Politico probably saw Tucker Carlson, highest rated in cable history, and said, let's write an article about him being president. They probably reached out to these strategists and said, what do you think about a Carlson presidency? I think he'd win. And then they write it up, making it seem like the GOP is flipping out. Oh, Tucker's going to run. No, he's not. Come on, shut up. Here we go. 16 prominent Republicans interviewed by Politico said there's an emerging consensus in the GOP that the 51-year-old Carlson will be would be formidable if he were to run. Some strategists aligned with other potential candidates are convinced he will enter the race and detect the outlines of a stump speech in Carlson's recent Fox monologue. Others, particularly those who know him well, are skeptical that he would leave his primetime TV gig. Carlson and Fox News declined to comment, notably because the story is probably just hype machine nonsense. Rich Lowry, editor of the Conservative National Review and author of The Case for Nationalism, said in an interview, no one can dismiss this and say it's completely implausible. There is, at the very least, a significant faction within the Republican Party that Carlson has a huge stake in and arguably leadership over. Lowry, who writes a column for Politico, said, if he has political ambitions, he has an opening. He has a following and a taste for controversy. He's smart, quick on his feet, and personable. Political experience matters less than it once did. Is there anybody on the Democratic side you can name? I mean it. You look over to the Republican side, and we have a massive list of potential 2024 nominees, potential candidates, people you can view as strong, principled, with a following, with fans. Now I bring you to the Democratic Party. Please, name for me one person. Come on, I'm waiting. You got anybody? Nobody? I didn't think so. Okay, maybe some of you said Andrew Yang or something. I can't think of anybody on the Democratic side that inspires the same level of zeal that you could name a ton of Republicans. In fact, there's actually a list over at the Washington Post. But right off the bat, we can talk about Hawley. We can talk about Trump Jr. Obviously, people have even talked about Ivanka. Let's pull this list up because you actually have a list of people they think. Trump Jr., Mike Pence, Nikki Haley, Tom Cotton, Josh Hawley, Ted Cruz, Tim Scott, Rick Scott, Elise Stefanik even. Yeah, Stefanik, I could see it. Absolutely. Now, can you name anybody on the Democrat side? You know why you can't? Because most of them are uninspiring, boring, confusing, and don't have a platform to stand on. Now, I can certainly name some people I think they might try to have run, people who actually tried to run last time, but they don't have followings. Come on, Swalwell, right? Cheat an election. Remember that when he farted on TV? That guy's not going to run. Who else you got? Pete Buttigieg, maybe. He's out. Pete Buttigieg was like vanilla pudding, okay? Or vanilla yogurt. It's like he's a regular guy, uninspiring, nothing really strong about his positions. But the bigger issue is that you look at these people. You look at Elise Stefanik. She riles people up. She's got big fans. You look at someone like Donald Trump Jr., big fans. And I would say Josh Hawley, Tom Cotton, I would give it to them. The rest of them, I would say, nah, sorry. Maybe Ted Cruz. Donald Trump Jr., yeah. These are people who online have fervent fan bases. I can't say the same thing for Democrats. Maybe one of these Trump reply guys. Seriously, I kid you not. They'll take one of these Trump reply guys, put him on TV, and have him spout one-liners. That is probably the best bet the Democratic Party has. Anyway, here's the point. Tucker Carlson, not going to happen. It's just buzz. It's hype. They want you to click the links. They want you to read the stories. I really just don't see it. It's possible. Maybe anything's possible. But Tucker's way more powerful and influential doing what he does. So who will it be? More importantly, what will happen in 2024? Let's make the assumption that Biden or Trump wins, and we move into a 2024 where it's going to be a regular election cycle. You then end up with a huge list of rising stars in the Republican Party that have fan bases. And you look to the Democrats, and I'm sorry, man. What is it going to be? 82-year-old Bernie Sanders? 81? How old is he going to be? Joe Biden? He's already too old. Warren's too old. Clinton's too old. What do you got? Tulsi Gabbard was lit on fire by her own party. They so I don't know what she's going to do. Andrew Yang's a maybe, but as much as I do like Andrew Yang for a lot of his policy positions, I don't see it. Maybe you'll get some young upstart Stalin-esque type, but they don't have anybody. Mostly because the party is completely fractured. Dare I say, you look to the Republican Party, they're unified. You look to the Democrats, they're fighting a civil war among themselves. It's another reason to think that Trump might win, even with bad polling, because the Democrats are not a unified party. But I really doubt it'll be Tucker. I got to admit, though, if it was, I mean, he's somebody I might vote for. He's got the moderate center-right kind of policy that I disagree with on a few issues, but he's pro-America. I like it. He's not a potty mouth like Trump. I really like it. I believe he's an economic populist who wants to bring the troops home. Really, really like those things. I'd be willing to make a lot of concessions if he was willing to do more for this country, help fix problems in cities like Flint, and, I mean, bring our troops home. I guess we'll see what happens come 2024. For now, we got to worry about 2020, so that's more important. Anyway, stick around. I got a couple more segments in a few minutes, and I will see you all shortly.